What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here again today for another BFR. As you can see, we are once again on these. I don't even know how to describe this wall behind me, but we are in my basement as I got home from work late, and so we will be filming the video down here not to disturb anyone else in my family. So, Game 46 at Vancouver against the Vancouver Canucks, 9 p.m. January 24th. What a game. This was an angry game. Very angry game. That's the only word I can use to describe it. Rick Tocchet was his first game coaching the Canucks as Bruce Boudreau had been fired. Vancouver was in their new black alternates that just came out recently. The score ends up being 5-2 for Vancouver. The record 14-28-4 for Chicago. Philp was in. Sorry about that. So Philp was in. It was his first game as in the NHL. To be fair, Tyler Johnson's out. He's injured again. He irritated his high ankle sprain. Shots were 48-14 for Vancouver, utterly dominant. Hits were 23-22. Vancouver. Faceoffs were 23 apiece. On the power play, Chicago 0 for 3. Vancouver 0 for 5. Mrazek saves 43 out of 47 in a valiant effort, and the former Blackhawk Delia saves 12 out of 14. In the first period, Lazar has a break denied at 1932. Chicago penalty to McCabe for tripping, which would be killed. Someone threw a Canucks jersey on the ice at 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and this is what I mean by it was a very angry game. The crowd was angry that Boudreau was gone. The team was angry because nothing's going right, and no one's getting along. And the Hawks ended up putting in a pretty good effort of being angry themselves, as they've taken penalties that they shouldn't probably have taken. Canucks look either golden or completely out of sort, depended on the line and at one time. 15-29, Chicago penalty to Seth Jones for high sticking, and it would be 4 minutes as Sheldon Dries had blood drawn. That would be killed. Kuzmenko was stopped. Rick Tocchet's booed during video and commercial break. Shots were 12-3 in 8 minutes for Vancouver. The game was starting to get scrummy. Horvat, huge save by Mrazek. 9:03, Chicago and Vancouver both get penalties. Murphy and Dries drop the gloves. That's for fighting. Those are the penalties. Schenn has a 8:43 Vancouver penalty to Luke Schenn for roughing, which would be killed. Pettersson has a big hit on Caleb Jones. Luke Schenn has a break right out of the box that'd be saved. Garland is stopped on a chance. Dickinson hit hard by Schenn. Very physical game as well. That's one thing for sure. Both teams were not afraid to throw the body. Then at 2:11, the score is. It's weird when my paper looks like that. But at 2:11, it's a Chicago sniped goal from Patrick Kane, his 9th of the season, from Caleb Jones and Domi to make it 1-0. We go to the second period, where this has been like an old Blackhawks Canucks game from the 2010s, as I like to say. It was physical, it was nasty, and everything was just a boiling pot. And being in Vancouver, that meant the fan base was even angrier because Chicago just always beat the hell out of Vancouver. 18:53, Chicago penalty to Radish for hooking, which would be killed. And at 12:58, Vancouver ties the game. It's a rebound goal from Andrei Kuzmenko, his 20th of the year from McCabe and Pettersson, to make it 1-1. Great player from Russia to come over. He's kind of like the Panarin of the Vancouver Canucks, essentially, and he puts it in. And would it be the last one he'd get? 11:47, Chicago and Vancouver each get penalties. It's once again another fighting major for Domi and Joshua, who each get 5. And at 11:47, then you get 2 extra penalties. You get Domi gets a 10-minute misconduct, and then Athanasiou serves another penalty from Domi, and that's for instigating, which is killed. So Domi didn't play for 17 minutes in this game. He just was there. Vancouver looks for more. Kane has a near break. Joshua has a big hit on Kane, and Domi goes after him, which led to that. So after all those penalties, it's a 5-on-4. And then at 7:54, Chicago scores. It's a goal from Sam Lafferty, from McCabe and Seth Jones to make it 2-1. And you think the Hawks have a lead, but it's not a well-deserved lead. Burroughs hits the post, and then at 4:13, it's a Vancouver redirect goal from Andrei Kuzmenko. 21st of the season, 2nd of the game, from Pettersson and Luke Schenn to make it 2-2. Reese Johnson hits the post, the Hawks pressure. Lockwood to to the locker room after he took a hit from Jack Johnson. And we go to the third, where Vancouver had absolutely controlled this game to this point. It wasn't even close. Shots were 35-10 Vancouver after 2. 11:58, Vancouver penalty to Hughes for interference, which would be killed. Kuzmenko took a stick to the head and there was no call. Joshua levels Kurashev. Domi and Athanasiou has a 2-on-1, that's whiffs. 8:26, it's a Vancouver stuff-in goal from Dakota Joshua, his 7th of the season, from Besser and Hughes to make it 3-2. And Joshua, while he was stuffing that in, landed on Mrazek's head. He's hurt, he stayed down for a bit, but he stayed in the game. That was because of a scramble in front of Mrazek. Horvat's denied. 7:52, Vancouver rebound goal to Sheldon Dries right after that. 6th of the season from Garland and Miller to make it 4-2. And then at 3:17, it's a Vancouver penalty to Lazar for high sticking, where Horvat hits the post short-handed. Hawks pull the goalie. Caleb Jones hits the post, and then at 1:26, it's a Vancouver short-handed empty net goal from Bo Horvat. 31st of the season for him from Luke Shen to make it 5-2. And anger, that's going to be the title of this video, just anger, because that's all that game was. In terms of Vancouver, their organization is just a complete mess. We'll see if Rick Tocchet can generate some success on the ice, but that's already going to be controversy, and it's not going to feel like true success. Because as everyone knows, like, Vancouver's remaining part of the schedule is much easier than its first 50 games. Just in general, I play the Hawks 3 times, for example. That was the first one. And apparently they play Columbus a bit. They play some of the easier teams. And people are upset that they fired Boudreau before this run because he didn't even get a full season to prove himself, A, and B, what Tocchett's going to go on a run now, and it's going to, and the management's going to be like, oh, look at this, savior. And then the next year it's going to be the same thing, same expectations. We've seen this movie before just last year. But that's going to be all I have for you. I'm not a Vancouver channel, but that's all I just wanted to say. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more of my content, I guess. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.